Rivalries in sport have a way of pulling us in, making us choose sides and igniting emotions that sometimes linger for decades. For fans of the Los Angeles Lakers during the 1980s, one name stood out as a constant thorn in their side, and that was Larry Bird. Today, we're diving deep into the complex feelings of one of the Lakers' most dedicated celebrity fans, Ice Cube. We'll explore how Bird gave Ice Cube nightmares, forced Laker fans to confront their biases, and ultimately won over his respect. And along the way, we'll reflect on what Bird's legacy teaches us about greatness, rivalry, and the enduring power of the NBA.
Straight out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. From the gang called niggas with attitude.
Johnson, over Parrish. He hits it! The Lakers win! Can't do a thing. Bird, turnaround, hit.
5 seconds to go. Magic with a hook shot. Scores with 2. Bird with 1 second to go.
I hated him because, he had always battled Magic.
The 1980s NBA was dominated by one of the most fierce rivalries in sports history, the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Boston Celtics. These two franchises didn't just battle for championships, they defined the very soul of basketball during that era. At the heart of this rivalry were two generational players, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Their battles weren't just games, they were a cultural event that captivated millions, drawing a line in the sands for fans to pick a side. For Lakers fans like Ice Cube, there was no debate, Magic was their king. But here's the thing, Larry Bird didn't care. He had no interest in being loved by Lakers fans. In fact, some might say he thrived on their hate. For Ice Cube, growing up as a diehard Lakers fan in Los Angeles meant one thing and one thing only: cheering for Magic Johnson and despising Larry Bird. But Bird wasn't just another rival, he was an absolute nightmare. Cube once said, back in the day, watching him was like a nightmare. It was as if he had a personal vendetta against Laker fans.
Oh man, back in the day, he was like a nightmare. A guy who could really spoil your night if you're a Laker fan. And I hated him for that. I hated him because, he had always battled Magic.
And he wasn't alone in feeling that way. Larry Bird had an uncanny ability to ruin the night for Lakers fans. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't the most athletic, but he was relentless. His deadly shooting, razor-sharp basketball IQ, and unmatched composure under pressure made him a constant threat. And for Ice Cube, it was almost incomprehensible. How could someone who didn't look like an elite athlete dominate the game so thoroughly? It wasn't just frustrating, it was downright terrifying. Now, let's talk about the numbers. While Magic Johnson retired with 5 championships to Larry Bird's 3, Bird had Magic's number more often than Lakers fans would like to admit. In head-to-head matchups, Bird's Celtics constantly found ways to push past the Showtime Lakers, and that fueled the fire for Lakers fans like Cube. How could anyone possibly be better than Magic? But here's the truth, Bird wasn't just Magic's equal, he was his perfect foil. Magic dazzled with fast breaks and no-look passes. Bird dissected defenses with pinpoint shooting and methodical precision. Their styles were polar opposites, yet they both stood at the pinnacle of the game. For fans, this rivalry wasn't just about basketball and basketball only, it was absolutely personal. One thing even the staunchest Lakers fans had to admit was Larry Bird was an absolute killer with elite killer instinct. He was the type of player who could flip the switch and completely take over a game. His clutch performances weren't just impressive, they were absolutely devastating not only for the rest of the league, but for Lakers fans in particular. Ice Cube reflected on this saying, and I quote, "Watching Bird dominate was perplexing. He wasn't the fastest or the most athletic, but he could break a game wide open just by being smarter and more composed than everyone else." And isn't that what made Bird so special? He didn't need to outjump or outrun you. He outthought you on the floor. He made you play his game, and when it came to crunch time, more often than not, he delivered more than anyone. As Ice Cube got older, his feelings toward Larry Bird began to change. He stopped seeing Bird as just the enemy and started to really appreciate his brilliance.
You know, looking at him, I just couldn't understand how he was, you know, as good as he was. And then I learned to respect him after a while, respect his game, respect how good he was, how he was able to play at his own pace, under his own ability. And so, you know, respected him for how good he was.
This shift in perspective is something many fans can relate to. As kids, we root with blind loyalty, but as we grow, we start to see the bigger picture. We learn to appreciate greatness while it's still in front of us, even when it comes to our fiercest rivals. Today, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson are celebrated not just as rivals, but as icons who elevated the game and in fact saved the league. Their battles didn't just define the 1980s, they saved the NBA and defined the league for decades. The league was struggling when they entered, and their rivalry brought it back to life. It showed fans that basketball wasn't just about winning or losing, it was about storytelling and polarizing superstars. It was about drama, passion, and respect, and for Ice Cube, being a Lakers fan has always been more about than just basketball. It's about loyalty, passion, and showing up for your team. That's why, even as a celebrity, Cube insists on buying his own tickets to the games. He said it best when he said, "I want to be a fan. I want to be able to talk smack in my suit and not feel like I owe anyone anything." And that's what makes Cube's journey from hating Larry Bird to respecting him so fascinating. It's a reminder that even the fiercest rivalries can evolve into mutual admiration. So what can we learn from Ice Cube's story? First, that rivalries fuel the passion that makes sports so special and compelling. Second, that true greatness transcends team loyalty. And finally, that respecting your rivals doesn't make you any less of a fan, it actually makes you a better one. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson taught us all that, and they taught us that in real time. And thanks to fans like Ice Cube, their legacy continues to inspire. But who do you guys think got the better of the rivalry, Bird or Magic? And how do you handle respecting a rival player that you see today? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more upcoming videos and NBA content. My name is Damian Peters, this is Basketball Network, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.